Hello, I'm the Autism Dad, Victor Antunez, the Inclusive My Realtor, and this is the Autism Podcast at Miami's Community Newspapers. Today I'm with Khia Lopez, founder of Great Heights Academy, and her son, Sebastian Tamayo. He is the president of the Link Club at Columbus, and that stands for Learning About Inclusion and Nurturing with Kindness.
Yeah.
Awesome. Well, I'm so glad you two are here. It's been a long time in the making.
Yeah.
I think I met you last year when you were still a junior in Columbus, and now you're a high school getting ready to graduate and go to FIU.
Yes, sir.
Tell me about FIU. What you going to be doing there?
So FIU, I want to study. First, I'm going to do psychology, and then hopefully in the future become a occupational therapist. So yeah.
And doing OT with who?
Studying.
What kind of patients will you be working with?
I want to do the babies, the younger kids, because that's what I did in Speakeasy, and I loved it. But I also did Youth in Action, which was with everybody. But I don't know, I feel like being with the babies, it's just something that I really love. So yeah.
That's great. And these are special needs kids you'll be working with, or regular?
Yeah, I want to do special needs. So yeah, the main goal is to be working with special needs, I think.
That's awesome, man. Congratulations.
Yeah. Thank you.
And Khia, you are a lifelong Miamian like me. We both graduated Sunset, although kind of many years apart. You make me feel like an old man.
Yeah.
Well, congratulations on all your success with Great Heights Academy. And now you're welcome with the coffee shop, No Limits Coffee Shop. So you founded Great Heights in 2014.
Correct.
11 years ago.
Yeah.
How's it been going?
It's great. It's great. We have grown a lot. We have over 150 kids. We have a waiting list at our school, so we're very blessed in that aspect. We've been able to help a lot of our kids. A lot of our kids have stayed with us, thankfully. So we've been with them from kindergarten all the way into adulthood. So our school has grown with them. So it's been an amazing experience. And as our students grow and their needs changes, our program changes. So from where we were 11 years ago to where we are now, it's a completely different school. We have so many more programs. We have a basketball team. We have a cheerleading team. We've competed in Orlando at Special Olympics. We've done a ton of inclusion, initiatives with local high schools, and we do, family fun things too, like a fall festival and Christmas shows and all of that. So
that's great.
I'm very happy and blessed with, the school and how it's grown.
And we're blessed to have you. And you know what I've seen a lot with the podcast is it parents like you filling what I call the gaps. Because the government comes with big dollars, and we need that, but they don't do everything.
Yeah.
Like the public schools do have their inclusion programs for kids that are on the spectrum, but it's not enough. There's a bigger need than they can provide.
Yeah.
And just happy to see people like you filling those gaps.
Thank you.
Now, you started 11 years ago. I'm sure you had a lot of ideas. This is how things are going to be. And then 11 years later, this is how they are.
Yeah.
What have been like some of the big challenges or eye-opening events you've seen in this time?
So yeah, when we started 11 years ago, we had 8 kids.
8 kids.
Yes. And I've always been kind of conservative, believe it or not, as far as like, I want things small. So I thought that I was going to just have this small elementary school and then kind of, maybe pass it on to another school. But then my kids got older and I was like, okay, no, let's do a middle school now. Let's do a high school. And then it's like, all right, we're going to do a young adult program. So we have a young adult program too. And then we have kids that are, of all levels. We have kids that are high functioning. We have kids with a little bit more needs, and we have kids that are middle of the road. And so then for our kids that are high functioning, they wanted an accredited school. So we went, and it was like a 3-year process. And we're one of the very few private schools that, went through the process of accreditation, and we've been accredited for the past 2 years, almost 3.
Super nice.
So that's been, amazing too, that, pretty much anything our parents have asked of us as a school, we have been able to do it,
Now, you started kindergarten?
Kindergarten to 12th grade, and then we also have a young adult program.
Tell me about the young adult program.
So our young adult program, we started at 18 and up. And
until what age?
So it's until the kids, until they need us. So our oldest adult in our program right now, I think, is like 25. We have 3 different classes in our young adult program at our school. And it's really about just getting them out into the community and getting them as independent as possible. They have gym memberships, and we take them to UFIT or Body Code twice a week, because part of being an adult is staying healthy. And that's been a great experience experience because they went in never stepping foot in a gym because parents underestimate their abilities sometimes. And now they go in and they know the equipment, they know a safe speed, they know to put on the safety, belt, and they're independent. And now that's an activity that parents use on the weekends with their children. We also have a parent that founded Rishi Snacks. The Patel family is amazing. So that's another experience that our students get to do. They go to a commercial kitchen once a week and they're able to help, bag the treats that they sell to the community. And then now that we have the cafe, we're doing CBIs at our cafe as well.
What are CBIs?
CBI is community-based instruction. So they're learning jobs in the community. So we have them coming to our restaurant twice a week. Every Tuesday and Thursday, we have a group coming, and not just from our school, other schools too are welcome to come. And we teach them restaurant skills. And we, the first couple classes is just, basic hygiene, health, that's required for Department of Health in any restaurant. And then we, step up our game, and then we teach them, different skills from, coffee making to dishwashing to rolling silverware to bussing tables and all of that. So our young adults are outside of the classroom more than they're inside of the classroom, but that's where they should be. We do still touch on academics, because if you don't use it, you lose it. But it is more of a I would say more of like a life skills academics. So for reading and language arts, they're doing, current events, because it's important for them to know that if there's a hurricane coming this weekend, you need to know it's coming, and you need to know how to prepare, and you need to know how you could help your families. And for math, it's more, budgeting, understanding time management, money, all of that. So we do change up our curriculum once they get into that young adult program.
And why did you found the school?
So many reasons. So I've been involved in the special needs community since I was little. My mom was a single mom. She went back to school when I was like 7 or 8. She went to UM, and she was part of like a Best Buddies kind of program at UM. So from when I was young, like my kids, I met the special needs community and I fell in love. And so in high school and college at FIU, I was part of the Best Buddies program as well. I worked at the JCC for many years, the TICFA program. And I met a little boy named Jordan who stole my heart. He was a very special little boy who had a lot of needs. I was his nanny. So the minute he got off the bus from school to the minute I put him to bed, I would bathe him, feed him, do his homework, and play with him, and then I would put him to bed. And his grandmother was the primary caretaker, and she needs to have surgery. So he lived with me for 3 months while she recovered.
Wow, that's a big commitment.
Yeah. So, but when I had to give him back to her, she hurt her back again, and then we had to look for homes for him. And I was in college at that time, so that was like super traumatizing because I didn't have kids at the time, so that was my baby. And the fact that he was going to be living in a home with strangers, it was very scary and traumatizing for me. So that was kind of my first kind of spark, was that I needed to open my own thing. I had initially said maybe I'll do like a young adult program or a home or something that I could take care of kids like Jordan. But then I started teaching, and I found out about the McKay program, and then I started the school, and then it's, and the story goes on. Speaking of McKay, I'm curious with the private school. Yes. Do the parents get scholarship money for their kids to attend the school? Yes. So we accept Step Up, the FESUA, which is the Empowerment Scholarship for Unique Abilities. It's a great scholarship which helps, fund the tuition. So depending on their matrix, some parents pay little and some parents pay nothing, depending on their matrix level. Right. Sebastian, 11 years ago, when your mom started this, you were 7 years old. Yes, sir. So at 7 years old, you still remember a lot, obviously. Yeah, of course. How did this change your life when you were 7 to now? Honestly, it was something that was normal to me. That's literally what I did every single, that's basically all I remember. Just working with kids with special needs, I saw them as brothers to me. To me, they weren't somebody that I was helping, but more like family. We had a good friend of ours, Peter,
who is he was in my mom's school, and now he's working at the coffee shop. He used to sleep over at the house. We used to play video games together. So to me, it was nothing, how do you say it? It was nothing, it didn't, what are the words? It wasn't something that changed me. It was something that I was just used to in my daily life.
Very nice. Now, you're also involved in some other programs. There's the Love for Kicks and Kids. Tell me about that.
So yeah, the Love for Kicks and Kids, it was founded by my mom. I'm a co-founder. Basically, when I played soccer, I played in Strike Force, and my mom saw there weren't any kids with special needs there, and she just thought that it would be something nice to do for the community. There weren't much active sports that kids could be able to join. So when my mom thought about doing it, I said I love the idea, and we decided to pursue it. And now we've had thousands of high school students that have joined to as a service hour opportunity, and I have a lot of friends that do it, and they all tell me how much they love it, and they've done all 4 years.
And this isn't just Columbus kids. This is Columbus, Lourdes, Belen,
public schools also. Everywhere. And
if another young person wants to join you guys, where would they find you?
We have an Instagram, Love for Kicks and Kids. We also post it in the school Instagram as well. And yeah, Facebook as well.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Now let's get back to you, Khia, because we only have so much bandwidth in life. So you're running the school,
correct,
and the coffee shop.
Yes.
How do you make it work?
I'm not a one-man show. I'm not. I tell everyone I'm just the face. I have a great staff in my school. Miss Carmen and Michelle have been with me pretty much since the first day I opened those doors. Miss Michelle is in charge of our middle school, high school, and young adult. Miss Carmen is in charge of the elementary program. So I could literally, fall off the face of the earth. Hopefully I don't. And they would still have it under control, and they still run it, the way that I would like it to be run, which is with a big heart, with compassion with these kids, working hard. I don't let, the staff slack off, which they don't. They're not on their phones. They're not, they're very serious about education. And same goes for the teachers. The teachers, some of them have been with me for the past 11 years, some of them 8 years, 9 years. So that's the beauty of being able to retain, staff. And it is that, it is a steady, moving train where, everyone knows what they're responsible for doing and everyone plays a part. Same thing with the restaurant. I have amazing staff. I have a manager that we hired that used to work at the school, and she's in charge of, running the front of the house. And then the back of the house is a parent at our school that was an amazing, head chef at Chambly's Winery, and he took a leap of faith and he quit his job, and he's the back of the house, manager. So I literally can be in 20 places at once because I know that everyone has a heart for the special needs community and is doing the right thing. And then even with the soccer program, my son, both of my boys help me out a lot with the soccer program. I have parents that volunteer that have been with me in the school for years. They're the ones that are signing in the volunteers and signing in the kids. And I have, coaches that volunteer and help me on the field, making sure that the kids are doing the stations correctly. So I'm able to do all of those things because of the amazing people that God has put in my life.
And speaking of the heart of Miami, I hear as a lifelong Miamian, I hear people complain about Miami. And I think Miami's a pretty cool place.
It's the best place to live.
Yes, I think so.
It is.
So give me some experiences where the community's reached out to you and just maybe with a coffee shop. Because the day I went in there, Michaela, Sandy from Carter was there with the entire team. Yeah. So I'm sure you've got a lot of people out there just coming because their heart is in the right place. Give me some more examples of that you've seen.
Yeah, I mean, with the restaurant, for example, we have had tons of, parents from our school that have come to support the restaurant. We've had parents from our soccer program. We have parents that, go their kids go to other private schools and they still come to support. It's not a GHA thing. It's not a Love for Kicks and Kids thing. It's a community thing. We've had, individuals from the Down Syndrome Association come. Card has come. We've had food influencers like, Mr. Eats come. We've had DJ Laz come to the restaurant to show us support. We've had you come, We have over 5,000 followers on Instagram. And so we've had, photographers like Ray Santana, who's, famous in Miami, and he came and donated his work to our cafe. And if you see on the wall, the black and whites.
Yeah, great photos, by the way.
Yes, amazing. All donated free, of charge. So we're very blessed. We're very blessed.
So, and how are you seeing all this, Sebastian, as far as like, let's say the young people in Miami and the involvement with the special needs community or just with volunteerism in general?
Yeah, no, me personally, I love it. I love the coffee shop idea. I love that. I love working there. I try to work there as much as I can. So I've been there on Saturdays, and now hopefully as well I get to work on Sundays. But I think me personally, I've seen a lot of kids that at first thought that just like the Link Club, they saw it as an opportunity to get hours and finish high school, get your diploma. But over time, I told them, just watch, see what happens. You're going to love it. And they always end up loving it. They always find a good friend. There are a bunch of kids in GHA and just in the whole special needs community that there's always somebody who could change your life in a second. And that's something that's really important about the special community that I love.
You're 17, right? Or you're 18?
I'm 16, about to earn.
No,
17,
17
about to turn
turning
18. Sorry.
So you're a little bit younger than your mom and a lot younger than me. So I want to get your perspective. Looking at the volunteerism in Miami, where do you see some gaps where we could maybe make some small changes with some big paybacks?
Well, honestly, I feel like what my mom has done for the special needs community, she's been amazing. And I feel like she's the one that has all these amazing ideas. So to find some gaps, honestly, there's just, I don't know, to be honest. I feel like the special needs community have just done a really good part in bringing people together. Like, just like in Columbus, we call it a brotherhood there. Mm-hmm. And I feel like a big part of that is because of Link. And like some reasons are when we do Link events, we have like one of them I realized recently was in the Thanksgiving event that we did. And there are kids that you don't see usually sit down in the lunch table when we have school, like football players with band players. You don't usually see that. But I feel like in the Link Club, when we had those events, we have everybody sit together and they realize the type of person you are, how you're just not like, just because what you do, if you guys don't do the same thing, it doesn't define you as a person, and you could actually be good friends. And I feel like, so like I say, yeah, the brotherhood is a big part, I feel like, because of the Link Club, which we call in Columbus.
That's awesome. Yeah, I got to tell you that I go to a lot of public events, and Columbus definitely has like this.
They have.
I don't want to call it a clique. It's a brotherhood.
Yeah.
You got something very special going on there.
Thank you.
Yeah. I appreciate that, because once you get older and you see how the value in that, you realize that you're a very lucky kid. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So No Limit is 1 year old. No, 1 month old.
1 month old. Yes.
Did you have any misconceptions going in that maybe you're like, oh, it didn't work out that way, or I could have done this or that? Just for the other entrepreneurs that are watching this.
Yes. I mean, let's see. I overstaffed myself in the beginning. So that's something I'm still working on is, getting my staff numbers right. Mm-hmm. During the weekends, we're doing great. During the week, it's super slow. So I've had to make, changes there as far as, if we have very little customers, I don't need, 5 adults with special needs working, unfortunately, as much as I would love to give more shifts. So that's kind of the only area that I say that I'm still kind of working on is figuring out, the customer flow so that I have the correct amount, because I keep overstaffing myself, thinking that we're going to have more customers come in, but that's okay. And then the other thing was, so we passed all of our permits in very quickly. Thank you to the commissioner. So by July, we were done with all of our permits. But I was nervous to open because I wanted to make sure that our staff was ready. So I, publicized that, we are going to open August 8th. And so I thought that we would need more time training our staff, but they picked it up so quickly.
That's good.
And I underestimated them. And I shouldn't have, because these are, most of the staff I've grown up with, and I know what hard workers they are. But I mean, from everything to, the customer service, to the making the coffee, to the bussing the tables, I could have opened easily in July. Because they were ready. But I don't know. I thought that they were going to take a lot longer, but they were so smart and they were so eager and they're such hard workers that they really focused hard. And then we did our part as well. Like, we did picture guides and we did a lot of, support for them to make sure that they would succeed, but they have succeeded and surpassed our expectations. And they're amazing. There's a job for everybody, whether the child is, or the young adult is high functioning, or whether they're minimal verbal. We have a job for everyone at our restaurant. So definitely employers, that are out there that are wondering, what's the issue? No, there's no issue. There's no issue with hiring an adult with special needs. It's a huge blessing. The community has been very supportive. They're hard workers. You come into the restaurant, you can come in with a bad mood, and I promise you my staff will put you in a good mood.
Now, you mentioned earlier that you've had parents bring their adults
Yes.
with disabilities and they're looking for work, and you've had to turn some of them away, which is completely understandable.
Yeah.
Where do you send those parents? Where can a parent go to look for work for their adult child with a disability?
Yeah. So there's a program called VR, which is vocational rehabilitation. So their job is to pair you with an employer that's looking to hire an adult with special needs. And so they would be your best bet. We don't work with VR just because we kind of just did our own thing. We found the place, and VR takes a while to become a provider, and I didn't have time to wait because we did find a great location 5 minutes from our school. And we already hired 15 adults with special needs, all from, my family's budget that we, took a leap of faith on. But there is the VR program, which would be their best bet. Apply for it, and there's so many benefits to the VR. They can get connected with an organization like the Best Buddies or Tamayo, or there's so many that are VR providers. And basically the way the program works is the government will pay the adult with special needs to work somewhere. So let's say Starbucks. VR will pay the adults to work at Starbucks. It's no liability to Starbucks whatsoever. They can have a free employee that comes with a job coach, and they even get insurance, liability insurance. So even if they get hurt on the job, no liability. You just are a host site and you're giving an opportunity. And then after, let's say 6 months, they see that, they've had enough training and they work, then it's up to the provider whether they decide to hire them or not.
Now, you also mentioned that your commissioner was there for you.
Yes.
Who was this?
Anthony Rodriguez.
What district again?
District 10.
10.
So,
and how was he there for you?
So I had contacted his office because, again, restaurant is not my business. It's a new venture. I'm a teacher at heart. I, studied and got my bachelor's and master's in special education. So this was a very new venture that I was kind of just taking a leap of faith. The permitting process, I was, a little bit confused on things, or, I felt like, some things took a little while to, get done. So I called their office. They were very, very helpful. We got our permits in like a month. It was crazy. They were, they connected me.
That is pretty quick.
Yeah, they connected me with the right people. Maybe a little bit more than a month, but not anything crazy like what I've had to wait, with the schools and all of that. But they connected me with the right people that gave me advice on, okay, this is what this inspector is looking for. So make sure that you do this, this, and that. So before my inspections came, I knew what to look for and I knew what I needed to have. So they were very helpful. They came to our grand opening. They helped us, cut the ribbon. They came again and they've done a piece, and their staff has come, and they're just amazing.
Super nice.
Yeah.
And you were permitted by the county.
Correct.
And for people that haven't worked in your shoes, working in the special needs community, that haven't worked with the county, what words of advice or wisdom could you give them?
As far as working with the county or working with kids with special needs?
Working with the county.
Working with the
getting
county.
your permits and whatever it may be that you had to go through.
Don't be afraid to ask questions. The community is here to support you. Call the zoning office and, let them know, hey, I don't know what I'm doing. I want to open this. And they're actually very helpful that, they're not as cold or unfriendly as people think. Once they heard what we were doing, we got a lot of help. Even the fire department, I called them and I did a cold call and I'm like, hi, I'm opening up a restaurant. What is it I need for you? And they're like, oh, you need class such and such fire extinguisher in the kitchen. You need this, you need that. Make sure the exit signs, make sure this and that. So, I kind of, learned through the great community that we have.
Now, if you could sit down with one of our policymakers here in Dade County, what would be a top priority for you?
The med waiver. Get those parents off that list. There's an over 10-year wait list for the med waiver. There's a lot of parents that are not informed, that they have young adults, teens that are 17, 16 years old, and they've never even applied because they just didn't know. And to know that they're so behind on the wait list, it breaks my heart, and I see it all the time.
How long is the list now? Do you know? How many years?
It's about 10 years. It's like a 10-year wait list. Yeah. So, and the med waiver is basically a program that funds after they age out of the program. So that's why we had to open up the restaurant, was because a lot of our parents didn't meet that deadline. And a lot of our parents, once they graduated, it was like, okay, what do I do with my kid? And so we were taking in our students as volunteers because parents still have to work and they still have to make a life for themselves. So definitely policymakers, shorten that list, find a budget for them. These parents still have to make a living. And then, organizations like ourselves, make it easier for us to, be a provider on the VR, and offer help, because we're here trying to do God's work, So the government's great, but we didn't receive a penny to help our program,
Yeah. I gotta say, as an autism dad, every time I do a podcast, I'm educating myself.
Yeah.
So when you take on a new child, it's not just them, it's the parents.
Yep. It's a family.
What is your process for educating the parents? Because there's a lot out there. Yeah. You just have to know, because there are people that don't even know the med waiver, I'm sure. So what is your education process of the parents?
So we do workshops all the time. We just had one the other day. We do annual ones on guardianship. We do it on med waiver. We do it on, we have a PTA, a great PTA, and we kind of ask, what are you guys looking for? We also have a group chat within our school, and they use it as like a community, source of, my child just hit this age. How do I apply for this? How do I do that? So they help each other amongst themselves. But definitely, I lost my train of thought.
It happens to me all the time.
Sorry.
Let me ask about the PTA.
Yes.
What is a top 1, 2, or 3 concerns your parents are coming to you about?
So I have a fun PTA, so they're always just trying to plan funny things. So fun things at the school, how to help the community and all of that. But as far as concerns, the top one is med waiver, guardianship, trust accounts, all of that has been like our annual parent workshop that we do at the school to kind of inform any new parents, on how to access these government, sources and all that.
Yeah, I've had attorneys on the podcast. We talk about guardianship, special needs trust, the med waiver, and no matter how much you talk about it, you can't talk about it enough.
Yep, we do it every year. Yeah, that's one that we...
I think a big mistake that we all make is that you tell somebody something one time and you think, well, I told them.
Yeah.
People...
Life gets busy.
Life gets busy. You're thinking about different things. Your life is not where my life is exactly at that moment. So it's a repetition.
And then we have parents that their kids are young, so they think, oh, I have time.
Oh, yeah, I got 10 years for guardianship. And then 11 years later, hey, wait a minute, what happened? I should have done this earlier. Yeah. So I got the 2-minute warning.
Oh, no.
I have 5 last questions I want to ask you, and then we'll close it out. Okay. Perfect. First question is, the biggest lesson you've learned from founding GHA?
The biggest lesson I've learned is that, schools are ever evolving. We can always add more to our program. We could always do more for the community. We can never just be comfortable. because the needs of our families change, the needs of our kids change, and the world changes. So we kind of just have to be adaptable.
Sebastian, you've been on this journey with your mom for 11 years, 7 to 18, or you're 18 now? You're 17?
I'm 17, gonna be turning 18.
Oh, since you were 6 years old.
Yeah.
What's the biggest life lesson you've taken away from this?
Don't never underestimate any of the kids. You know, anything is possible for them. Yeah.
Very well said. Good. Next question is the biggest lesson you learned from founding No Limits Coffee Shop?
I'm still learning. The biggest
Yeah,
lesson
it's only
I've
1 month
learned is no, don't underestimate the abilities of our workers. If they could surprise me, and I've been working in this field for 20 years, they can surprise any of you with how amazing they are. So
Nice.
yeah.
Sebastian, a mentor or role model you look up to?
My mom.
Hey, well said.
Yeah.
That's a good answer.
Thank you.
Last question for you, Khia. If you had a billboard on I-95, what message would it say?
Can I have two? One that says, come to No Limits Coffee Shop. It's for breakfast, brunch, and lunch. And then two would be, something that promotes inclusion, acceptance, and awareness in the special needs community.
Excellent. Okay. Well, let's turn to the camera and we'll sign off.
Yes.
So this has been the Autism Podcast with Khia Lopez of Great Heights Academy, Sebastian Tamayo of the Link Club at Christopher Columbus High School. Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you again next time.
Bye.